Hi, welcome. I'm Mary and I hook books. I crochet things inspired by books I read, and it's mostly fantasy, science fiction, horror, mystery thriller, some non-fiction, and we just finished Summerween. So I love horror, but I am horrored out. So, we're gonna go to the opposite end of the spectrum and we're going to do some fluffy, cozy, light fantasy and some cozy mysteries. So, let's go. My air conditioner is on. Hopefully the new microphone means you won't hear it too much, but I turned off all the fans, so hopefully the audio is okay. It has been a week. It really has. I called because I knew I needed car maintenance and they didn't have the parts I needed, so I scheduled for this week. And I was like, this is my Tuesday. This is all I'm doing all day Tuesday. And then they're like, I'm there for 2.5 hours. They come, part of the part didn't come in. So they give me a loaner car and I work Wednesday, but I was off again on Thursday. So I went back on Thursday. And they were like, oh yeah, we didn't finish. And I live about 45 minutes away from my mechanic. I still go to them because I've just been going to them since I moved to Texas. So I drove all the way down there to be told that it wasn't ready. It should have been ready Wednesday, but it wasn't because they were having trouble with a part that apparently like obliterated. So they replaced that. So yay. And then I drove back. And then Friday, I drove almost all the way there. 45 minutes with traffic to realize I grabbed the wrong bag and I did not have my wallet. So I had to drive all the way home. So it is Saturday and my camera my camera is also having a bad day. I finally got my car back and they did give me a 10% discount, which like, yay. And my car is good for a while at least now, but like, oh my gosh. I have not done so much driving in forever. And I used to think nothing of driving cross country, driving like 17 hours at a time, but that's not me anymore. I live 20 minutes from work, and that is the longest drive I do on a regular basis. So, my neck and my back, and God, I need a massage that I won't get until at least next week. But I gave me lots of time to listen to my audiobook, so yay. I listened to Kill the Farm Boy, and I want to love this so much. I love subversions of classic tropes. The comedy really works for me, honestly. I like the irreverent comedy. Sometimes it leaned in a little bit too much into the, like, 12-year-old boy comedy. Like, they overdid the fairies living in the morning wood thing. Like, they way overdid that. It was too much. But like a lot of it I really enjoyed. Like, I enjoyed the ingredients individually, but I didn't love the finished product. And I think it's just high fantasy, and especially high fantasy with a gathering the crew road trip, just is not my thing. I want it to be, but it's not. And I loved how this story was written, and the characters were really funny. But I think if this had not been recommended to me by a coworker, I probably would have DNF'd, because just the road trip and the coming together. I don't know if she said this was actually a lit RPG or if she's just been into lit RPG, because there wasn't any, like, like leveling up or any math going on. So I don't know, but I wanted to love it, and I loved the comedy. The characters were really fun, but just the classic fantasy story I just can't get into. But there were parts of this that I really loved. So I think I settled on just, it's a 3. It's fine. I did enjoy this, and if you don't have an aversion to a high fantasy road trip like I do, this would probably be a really great book for you. Today is the first day in over a week that it's not supposed to be above 100 degrees. Yay! I have just been like sitting with my fans, and like it's so loud that I don't want to sit down and update, but I don't want to turn the fans off because it's 1,000 degrees and air conditioning bills are expensive. So here we are. I have finished A Crafter Knits a Clue, and this is an interesting cozy mystery. I don't know if there's anything else that's attached to it, if this is like a companion series or anything. Most of the time we meet someone when their life is changing, like the Haunted Yarn Shop mysteries, which I love and definitely recommend. They start right after that character's aunt died and she has to go take over her yarn shop. But in A Crafter Knits a Clue, her friend died 3 years ago and she has been running her creation shop for the last few years. And it's not like the yarn shop is something else. This is the shop where everyone from this town comes to sell their homemade stuff, which is pretty nifty, honestly. And it's a very community-minded kind of a concept, and I love that so much. We have, I'm so bad with names, our main character is getting ready for the fall fling, and she goes to the yarn shop. The owner needed something and asked her assistant to come, but she was like, no, I'll just go myself. and finds the owner with a metal knitting needle in her throat. So, so of course, cozy mysteries. It's not super gory. Like in cozies, they really do minimize the gore and the horrificness and lean into the characters. And I liked these characters. Like, they have two sisters, and a cousin, and they had their own, like, detective agency when they were kids, and it had its own little name, and it was adorable. And I love the relationships between the women. There has to be a cop, like, in every cozy mystery, and this is where I was like, I'm not sure I'm buying it. Because, like, yes, you just witnessed a murder. Let's go get pizza. Nope. But then he, like, backs off, and she's like, well, does he like me? Did we get pizza and hang out just, like, cuz? Or, like, so I did not like that relationship dynamic. I thought that was just weird. Definitely not my favorite component. But the actual mystery and how that unfolds is really cute. The other relationships were really nice. So I like this. If you're new to cozy mysteries, this is probably going to be great for you. I am kind of a cozy connoisseur at this point, so it was kind of mid for me, but I do think this would be great and I would recommend it. It does take place in Wisconsin, and they say, the Green Bay Packers obsession is like a religion up there. So that is why we have a Green Bay Packers beanie. And I can't put it on because I have a hair mask on again. And I'm gonna go hop in the shower and try to stay cool. I need at least a little bit of a fan on, so hopefully the microphone won't catch too much of it, but it's still just like 1,000 degrees, and I'm on my exercise bike. I'm trying to multitask, trying to do it all, So Phryne Fisher is so weird because I generally don't really like historical fiction, like, at all. Even if it's a cool premise, a lot of the time, just because it's historical fiction, I'm like, But I love the Phryne Fisher mysteries. And I think maybe it's that she is more progressive, that she has money, but she didn't come from money, so she's a lot more relatable. And I love that she just does her. And that's actually kind of a point of contention in this book, Murder at Montparnasse. And I had no idea what that is. Apparently it's something in France. And somebody died. There was a mystery. I can't remember the primary mystery. And the important bits, to me, are that Phryne is still going to be with her Chinese lover, even though they have a bride coming for him from China. And this is a point of contention with her household staff, because it is like 1920, I think. So, like, we have to work through that. And we also get so many flashbacks, which is really cool. Like, sometimes it's just in Australia where we are. Sometimes we get flashbacks of Phryne's past, and she was an ambulance driver in World War One. And then she went to Paris and hung around there for a while, so that is really fun. Oh yeah, there's a kidnapped girl. That was the primary mystery. And Phryne has two not biological, but like adopted daughters, and they actually help catch the bad guys in this one too. So that was pretty fun. Overall, not my absolute favorite Phryne Fisher mystery, but a really good entry into the series. This is the Bureau from Phryne's Adventures in France. I looked up the Australian colors, and they also were green and gold, which was super convenient since I just made the Green Bay Packers thing, so I already had these yarns out. Anyway, let me know what you are making, if you are making anything, if you want to make any of these patterns. The patterns are in the description box, along with my other socials. Please like, subscribe, etc., etc. And take care of yourself, especially those of us in the Northern Hemisphere right now. Like, summer is not being kind. So stay cool, stay hydrated, do good things for yourself, take a nap, get some veggies, get some exercise, whatever feeds your soul. And as always, keep your shoulders back, your heads up, and breathe.